Hello, this is session, wow, I think we're on session 10 of this full series, but this is session 3. This is the middle of the book for this final book of Hearts of Wulin, which is a wushu hack, essentially using various PbtA texts to try and tell the kinds of Wulin soap opera stories that we see in movies like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and The Swordsman, and that we see in good part in Chinese television dramas like Demigods, Semi-Devils, and The Handsome Siblings and things like that. This is part of the Gauntlet Hangout series. This is an online gaming community that you can find out more about at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have multiple podcasts that are there. We have a blog. There's lots of interesting things you can find out about that there. If you're interested in AP videos, you can check my backlog. I've actually had a person this week who's been going through and clearly watching a bunch of my backlog and commenting on various things, including pointing out some rules errors in Conan when I ran that and stuff, which is hilarious. And I kind of love that people are doing that. Yeah, you can check that out. We are returning to the middle of our story here. I'm going to check in about some of the mechanical things, and we're going to look at highlighting entanglements, and then we'll figure out where everybody is and follow up from that. Let us go and look. Did anyone hit enough XP to take a new move last time? Rich?
I did, and then I wrote myself a note, and then when I opened up the character sheet just a few minutes ago, it said, you need to take an advance. And then I went and unhid some tabs trying to find the bit where it talks about what your advances that you can take are, and I can't remember where you have it.
It is under other moves.
Dang it, I'll write that down or something. I'm writing it down so I don't do that again. It says 2 games in a row.
That's in that section there.
I want to steal something from another playbook that's not in play so we can see it out in the open.
Sure. That gives you, let's see then, we don't have Outsider in play, I believe. Okay. And we don't have the, let me look here. We don't have the Aware in, no, we do have the Aware in play. So what is the other one we don't have in play?
We have Student, Aware, Unorthodox, and Loyal. So we wouldn't have Bravo.
Bravo and Outsider.
Bravo is the most fun.
Yeah, it really is. I played that in a one-off.
That's it. That has some great stuff in it.
Oh yeah, but you kind of need to like build. You can't tack on some of this crazy stuff. I don't know though. Maybe I can. These are pretty cool.
Hello.
Yes.
Random mechanical question, just since he's looking at that. Something that I've wondered several times when I was leveling up, but never quite made the choice, so I never asked you about. Could you pick one of the other classes' base moves as an advancement?
I have generally thought not. That has been my thought is that I wanted to keep those roll moves unique. So I think I'm gonna I think in the rules it's gonna be that those aren't choosable. So
cool. Like I said, every time I've come to something else as being more desirable, so that may speak towards like there is something that feels more intrinsic in them.
Okay. That's a good observation. And, you know, one of the things is that there is the ability to do custom moves. If you want to think about something that you wanted to do with your sword that we haven't seen at the table, we can talk about the ways to do that. That's one of the advances that you can take, is a custom style move. All right. And it looks like a Passing Cloud is very close to getting a move. Halfway for Night Sky and close to half for Shard Saber Lan. Let's go look at entanglements and see where we're at. If you're happy with them, if you're still interested in them, if you want to make changes, and which one you might want to highlight. Patrick, what about you? Let's start with you this time.
I think I still feel happy with how they're both set up. The whole I love passing cloud. It's a complicated thing and not entirely romantic. But I'm still happy with where that is.
So what do you think you want from passing cloud? What would satisfy? Does Shardsaber Lan even know what would satisfy him in that?
I don't think he's particularly crystallized it in his head, but his sort of fantasy about passing cloud is this great and wise and powerful leader of the Yun clan that will uncover the lost secrets and find all the orphans and do this magical bringing them back to life thing. I just want him to be perfect and amazing in every way, and also maybe sometimes kiss me.
Okay. All right. So which of those two do you want to highlight for today?
Looking back through the summary and with is it Frost Queen? Mm-hmm. Frost Queen coming on the table and connecting with Coral Lantern, I think it would be a neat time to focus on Night Sky Ming and Coral Lantern and that whole mess. Yeah, she's still around because you made that choice.
That was a hard decision, but you made that one. Which brings us to your sister Night Sky Ming. Ming, let's look at your entanglements.
Yes. My master Ironface Low hates passing cloud, but won't tell me why. I think I Sherry have an inkling now, but unfortunately, Night Sky Ming has no clue. Okay. Which is often, I think, her little, character summary. Night Sky Ming has no clue, though she's an aware and a scholar. The other one is that Night Sky Ming loves Sedate Rao, but Sedate Rao is engaged to the villainous Whip Hand Shang, and in fact, their marriage is imminent. Imminent. So I think that needs to be my thing.
Okay, I like that.
All right.
Passing cloud, let's come to you. Are you happy with those? Have any of those changed or evolved, or anything you want to do with those?
No, I think both of mine are still kind of valid at the minute. So I love Cheng Wen, but my teacher Auntie Silver killed his teacher Peerless Falcon, who he held dear, and I suspect Shardsaber Lan of evil, but Night Sky Ming, who I respect, believes in them. So I think I'm quite happy with both of those at the minute. I feel like the Shardsaber Lan one is maybe sort of coming towards a resolution, perhaps, but I think that's the one I'm going to focus on this week.
Okay, let's make sure we get a conversation today between you and Night Sky about that, because you had some conflicted feelings last time. So
exactly,
that would be good. And then let's come back around to Rich. Yes. Are you happy with both of those? Any changes you want to make?
Before we talk entanglements, I'll just inform you, I did take out of the Bravo playbook, it takes a thief. You can slip from any restraint or pass through any door or window as if it were open. The slippery nature extends to attack and defense. Your body moves elegantly to avoid attacks so as to not wrinkle your outfit or spill your wine. I like that a lot, and I kind of leaned into that in our fight against the mooks from previous. So
absolutely, most people take it for that second part because they want to look cool. So I appreciate that.
Entanglements there is mutual unrequited love between Nine Blossoms and I because of my duty to Bronze Viper. And I swore to Sedate Rao that I would protect Night Sky Ming, but they would be offended if they knew. I'd like to highlight the Sedate Rao and Night Sky Ming. Everybody is leaning on Night Sky Ming today. So this is a Night Sky. So in the Primetime Adventures world, this is her spotlight episode, I think. She's got a screen presence of 3.
Okay.
Yes, I'm running Primetime Adventures next month, and I'm just practicing. Okay.
Just practicing. And I think one of the things, we've got the opportunity for you to talk to Rao, but I think, you have kind of started to almost step in. So let's see if we can get a point where you can step in, and maybe Night Sky Ming can realize what's happening today, or maybe that's an opportunity that we can
Yes,
can
let's
think
evolve
about
it.
on the table here. So last time, having met with the Frost Queen and having gotten some information, you were able to rescue Nine Blossoms from that situation, and you returned. You know that there's still some of these Dancing Sister assassins out there that you haven't seen, and that they may still be in play. You had the various duels there. You returned back to the city because there are things happening here. And I think the big detail that we ended with, besides the whole conversation between the Shard Saber and the Devil Crone, and so on, was the meeting of Passing Cloud and Zhang Wen, and the revelation at the end that, in fact, it was the dust cloaked spider that had been conversing with him, just as a move there. Now, David, are you cool with how he did that? Are you good with that as the hard move on that?
Yeah, no, that's fun.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure on that. But as Rich suggested, I want to start today with Night Sky Ming, and I do want to do kind of a once around again with everybody, and then we'll see how we can link people up. If we come into the episode, we will see, because one of the factions is having a marriage, there are lots of displays up and colorful silks and things, and there are people from the faction that are going out and giving gifts out to merchants and to people on the street and things like that. That sort of, a demonstration of generosity that is going on. So there is kind of a festive air to the city. Night Sky Ming, when we come to you, is it day? Is it night?
I think that that it's day.
Okay.
And my guess is that it's actually like early morning.
Okay.
Okay. So for her, it's late. She's still, but she's been, because she's perfectly disguised as one of Nine Blossoms students.
Mm-hmm.
She's still dressed that way. And there's a thing where they're doing their morning katas, and they have their own particular style. And you see Night Sky Ming doing them as well. And she does all the same gestures, but there's just something to the way that she moves that's completely different than what they're doing, and you can see Nine Blossoms giving her the stink eye, because to her it's very, very obvious.
Now, let me ask you this question. Does Nine Blossoms know that you're disguised?
Yes.
Okay, so she does. So she will, when the katas are done, come over and she will say, perhaps we should have a moment of private instruction.
And she goes, very well. Only because the other ones are still around, so.
And this is the first time you've seen Nine Blossoms sort of in the early morning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably the first time you've seen that limp. It's clearly she's woken up. It's kind of cool out. And you can see that she hasn't quite yet settled in to get her chi and her flows and internal focus together. She spends effort to hide those wounds that she took from your mother. And she will say, how long do you plan to stay in this disguise?
She sort of stops and goes, I used it to enter the city, and I would stay until I have some sense of what the plans are of our enemies.
Well, you're certainly welcome to do so. I might not hang around my entourage too much. Someone might pick out the difference in skill.
I think Night Sky Ming is like a little offended, you know?
No. I mean that you are better than my entourage.
Still, I should be able to blend better. It's my fault. And she goes, I do not want to betray you to them.
There's no worry. There's no worry. What do you plan to do?
She goes, this wedding, as much as anything, is, I think, a trap. It's an event meant to bring together a lot of their loose threads. I'm one of those. So are you.
I have received an invitation. I'm in a position that I can decline.
Or you could go, except perhaps I go in your stead.
If that is what you want.
In some ways, it might keep both of us safe.
I'm not sure anything will keep us safe. Coral Lantern has clearly gained more power, or had more power than I ever thought.
She's been allowed to collect it unchecked all this time. She hides behind the screen of the Purity sword sack. Most of them are righteous. They do not even suspect that she is not.
And she pauses and she says, I hope that you are not being overly optimistic. There may be others amongst your house that know and support what she has done. If she was amongst those who destroyed the Yun clan, we know that it was not a small force, and we know that they were from various different sects.
And she sort of stops and she goes, we know that among the Yun clan there were some who were unrighteous and some who were righteous. That is indeed a situation that clouds the eyes of many.
Since you said the word cloud,
yes,
I'm going to cut the scene there. And we're going to cut over to Auntie Silver, who is perhaps, maybe a little bit nervous that you've indicated, Passing Cloud, that you will be going to join your friends in the city.
Yep.
I do not know if that is a good idea.
But Auntie, if we are to bring the Yun clan back to prominence once more, I must work with my allies. I must become stronger. I cannot sit here in hiding forever. It is not the Wulin way.
But you are not ready yet. You are not. If you go into the city, you go into a nest of vipers.
Perhaps I am not ready, Auntie Silver, but I shall not become ready without taking efforts to become stronger. I appreciate the training you have given me in our family style, but with your permission, I would seek out Zheng Wen and see if he will accept me as a tutor, as a master, as a student. The right way around.
Let's have you roll hearts and minds here, because I think there's some possibilities that may roll out of this.
Sure thing. So just have a quick look at the. What
do you think this is?
I think I'm going to go with wood, actually.
Okay.
I torn between wood and fire, but I think wood is slightly closer.
Then let's have you roll.
That's a 6 on the dice, so that'll be a 7.
All right. So you can see her look at you, and she says, Zheng Wen is not your friend, and you will come to learn that.
But he seems a most noble and upstanding warrior.
Things are not always as they appear. Go and ask Zheng Wen to be your tutor, but know that this ends my training of you.
Thank you, Auntie, for all that you have done for me. You have gone above and beyond even what was required by our bonds of family. And I thank you for what you have given me.
And she looks serious. She keeps herself together even as you pick up your pack and head out. And I suspect we see her then kind of fall to the chair in the room, trying to keep herself together. So, speaking of crushing people's hearts, Shard Saber.
Hey.
You've come to town, and how have you? I know you went and spoke with our friend, the crone. How are you disguising yourself? What clan have you? Do you appear that you're coming from?
I think actually he's coming in sort of as a commoner under the radar, not of a particular clan sort of thing.
Okay.
But we have the wedding coming up, and I know that Night Sky is going to be tied up in all of that, and I know that it's this whole big gathering, and it's like obvious that Coral Lantern and or Frost Queen, like they're gonna do something there, and who knows who else is helping them? Who knows who else was on the side of taking down the unit? So I need to try and look after Night Sky, because she's like caught up in this and won't be able to see straight and make proper preparations. But I can't really trust the Purity Sword sect, and I don't really feel like I can go back to the Jade Brush School, and really consistently there's only been one faction that I felt like could really stand up to these sorts of like requirements and tasks and loyalty as far as you can throw them, and so I think I want to try and engage the 100 ghosts, because no one will see them coming. They're perfect at blending in, and they can be there so that whenever Coral Lantern inevitably makes her big dramatic public move for power, they can be there to help me foil her.
So who do you want to go see? Do you want to go see Iron Face Lou?
I thought about Iron Face Lou. I thought about Iron Face Lou, but not to be flippant, but he's very hard to read. And also, I know in a more formalized relationship, master-student with Knight's Guide, so I fear that he might feel compelled to tell her. And of course, there is Tian, but we all know about the situation with Tian, so I don't go there. So yeah, I think it's the Devil Crone and negotiating a price with the Devil Crone.
Back so soon?
Oh, that smell. It's always much more pungent than you remember.
It opens the pores. Very good for your skin.
I can see that.
Come and sit, little Shard Saber. Tell Mama Crone why you have come.
Mrs. the Crone, I feel I'm worried about what is coming.
You should be.
That's not starting out making me feel better. No, my friend, my sister, Night Sky Ming. I fear she's walking into a trap that her emotions are blinding her to. And I feel that her adopted mother, Coral Lantern, the villain, has planned something far more elaborate than any of us are ready for. But I know that elaborate secrets and planning are not beyond the 100 Ghosts. And I've had positive interactions with the ghosts in the past.
Oh, you say such nice things. What is it that you want, Shard Saberlan?
Coral Lantern, she will make her move at some point. Between her and the Frost Queen, there's more ego than we could fit in this entire city. So it will be big. It will be public.
Yes.
It will be speechified. I just need backup. I need people that no one will notice, people that can blend in, that can be there to act against Coral Lantern when the moment comes.
You wish the 100 Ghosts to infiltrate into this?
It's a wedding. There's lots of guests. Surely there's opportunities for strangers to be unnoticed in places.
Oh, no. My statement was not one of inability to do this thing, but clarification of your request.
Yes.
And what do you offer the 100 Ghosts?
I was hoping we could work something out. I must admit.
We are working something out right now.
No, I understand. I'm clarifying my starting position of, well, you see, I don't particularly have a clan or family or personal estates to call upon, but surely there's something you need done? I can do things. Not bad things, obviously. But I am very good at breaking things.
I will give you a choice.
Oh no.
Within the household of the Purity Sword Sect, there is an object that we need broken. But that may be a thing you do not wish to do. Maybe a thing you do not wish to undertake, given that you're some uncertainty about us.
You said there was an option.
Join us. Swear your allegiance to the 100 Ghosts and join with our family, like your brother Tian. We will welcome you with open arms.
I definitely feel like an inner conflicty thing.
Yeah.
I'm having inner conflict with entanglements that aren't even written down anymore.
Yeah. This is with your family, clan. That'd be cutting. This would be the final straw. What are you rolling with?
There's so many good choices. Well, I keep coming back to wisdom. Let's see how much he can see through the devil crown. Would have helped if I'd opened the roll for your party before now. Here we go. Thingy. Stuff. 7, 8, 9.
Okay. You can hold yourself to what you think is right by marking a chi, marking that chi, and making your choice here, or you can retreat back.
I'll mark chi.
She watches, she narrows her eyes, she can see you, running it down, and she will say, "You've come to me 3 times. I have not asked you for anything before this. So what is your answer?"
I really want to make the wise choice, the smart choice, but it's dramatically cooler, and the condition on marking water is isolated and oppressed, and I think like she gets to him, like he feels the weight of all these years of being semi-clanless and totally clanless and living on the fringes of Wulin society, and despite everything he was taught growing up, Tian and the 100 Ghosts and the Devil Crone and Iron-Faced Lou, they've all proven more trustworthy and pragmatically honorable than anyone else has managed to on a consistent basis. So I think he'll, like, I don't know, get down on one knee and sort of bow his head in like an acceptance of, would you have me? Would you take me into your clan?
She reaches over and she takes up this bowl, and it has kind of a smoky liquid in it, and she goes, "Drink and become one of us."
I'll drink it.
You'll drink it?
Yeah.
And you can feel the ghost that is in that water roll into you. Now you are a ghost as well.
Oh, this is going to make things a lot more awkward with passing cloud.
Yes, it is. So let's cut from that over to Zheng. Zheng, what craziness this city. But you have friends that you can rely on, that you know are trustworthy and above board, and that you can count on in a crunch.
Honest and true. Make good decisions. Yes, those are the friends that I can count upon.
They are righteous.
Righteous. Corporeal. Okay.
So what is it that you want to do? Who do you want to talk to? Do you want to talk to Nine Blossoms, Bronze Viper? Do you want to go and look into things in the city? Do you want to talk to Sedate Rao, track down Night Sky?
I think speaking with Sedate Rao, since that's an entanglement that I want to highlight anyway.
Okay.
Now, how much does Zheng know about Whip Hand Sheng's entanglements with Coral Lantern?
So you've been told by the others that Sheng is one of Coral Lantern's henchpersons, and that she is, an assassin. But to all intents and purposes, she appears to be a Purity Sword Sect member who has come from a distant place and is, come here to serve Coral Lantern.
So I think he would deal directly with Bronze Viper.
You mean Sedate Rao?
I'm sorry, Sedate. Yeah, I was glancing at the summary thing and I got myself mixed up. He would deal directly with Sedate Rao, but expecting that this is not going to go well and he's going to have to go out and investigate and find out the truth of Whip Hand Sheng.
Absolutely. And you will find Sedate Rao. He is actually outside of the gates of his compound, of the where they have the household and so on, and he is actually out passing coins, gifting things out in the street, and he will see you and come and approach, and he will hand you a little bag. So this is our wedding gift, our what we give as generosity to others. It contains seeds and coins and so on. I hope that you will accept this.
And he's out in public here handing out this to others, or I'm
yes.
Sorry, he's
okay. He's out in the streets handing it to passersby, walking around and giving these gifts.
Sedate Rao, I need to speak with you. There's something I must share with you. It is not pleasant.
That sounds ominous.
Yes. Could we speak privately?
Yes, please. There is a tea house nearby. Let us go there. Adjourn to there and perhaps share a cup as we did in olden times.
Yes.
And you will go in and order tea, and he will go to sit, and he will say, "So what is it you need to say to me?"
I do not think you should marry Whip Hand Sheng.
Nor do I, but these things happen.
I think that I can help you extract yourself from this entanglement before it is no longer as easy as breaking off an engagement.
He looks at you and he says, I know that for some, loyalty to their house is something malleable, breakable. That their duty to their household can be shirked or changed. That is not for me. I serve at the whim and behest of the elders of my house.
And that is why we have remained such good friends over the years, and I would not dishonor you by asking you to break this engagement. Except Whip Hen Sheng is not the woman she presents herself to be, and I would not allow you, as one loyal to your house, to dishonor your house by marrying her.
Let us have you roll Hearts and Minds.
Yes, let's do that. I think that Zheng Wen is trying to be creative here because he has heard what, like, I am not going to even consider this. And okay, well, what about this angle? So I'm rolling with fire. Just want to point out that the dice I'm re-rolling are pretty crappy, so I know that it increases my chance of having better dice.
Fair enough.
That's statistically proven. I rolled a 6, but I have a 2 in fire, so that is an 8 in Hearts and Minds.
He will say to you, you have been a good and true friend to me. And we have a bond that goes beyond these things. We understand each other. And yes, I know what she is. And he will bow to you and give you a bond with him. But he will say, please make sure that Night Sky Ming is safe and keep her away from the wedding.
Good day, Sudevra.
And to you, my brother.
Obviously, I need to kill her. He mutters to himself.
That's a Gordian knot solution right there.
If she is a villain and she has entangled herself somehow, then perhaps the sect has some nefarious reason to keep a villain around, but I don't care about that. So,
Night Sky Ming, let's come back to you. Can we bring you together with one of the other characters, or do you have something that you wish to do on your own?
I think if you give me just the smallest montage of her accompanying Nine Blossoms, and essentially like she's with her and she mimics her every move through the morning until Nine Blossoms can take it to look, then she'll leave. So, but essentially that is just that prep for that you get to see. And then, yes, she will.
And you can definitely see that Nine Blossoms, I mean, you know, she was a senior amongst her house, but her station is clearly fallen.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's because of the wound, or because of...
That the wound is the excuse, at least. So what do you want to do?
Oh, so much injustice in the world.
There is.
Let's see here. I believe that now, since I have the costume of one of Nine Blossoms' students, that I can move around a little bit more freely. So I will go to, let's see here. I suppose I will go to scope out the venue of the wedding, where it's going to be.
Does that sound like a study action?
It does.
Okay. What do you think you want to roll with? That is a big puppy.
Yeah. Let's see here. I actually think I want to use Earth.
Okay.
As in the sense of, because it is about a place. So I want to know it's its secrets, if there are any. So that's a 1. And then I just have to find the right thing. Okay, let's see if I can roll decently or if it will be a nightmare. So that's a 6.
That is a 6.
Yes.
So because you're awesome and you have a move for it, you still get a question.
Yay! I suppose it would be, where are the ambush points?
Okay, yeah, you can see that there are definitely some places hidden around and about. Some spots that you can see where, you know, things have been set up, clearly been stated to people here that it is merely a defensive precaution, that there have been strange incidents in recent past, and you can certainly do that.
All right.
And as you are watching, you will see passing cloud, and you will see passing cloud bowing to and speaking with Pan Sheng, as if they are old friends.
Pan Sheng.
And you will see them converse briefly, and then go inside.
That makes no sense.
And yet, that was clearly passing cloud. So that is my misunderstanding that I have put on you with that move.
Thank you.
Passing cloud, you travel to the city where everyone loves you, and nothing bad is going to happen. Who would you look for? Or is there something you want to do when you arrive in the city?
I think his first priority will be to find somewhere to stay. And I think he is going to go with his initial plan of seeking out Zheng Wen to
ask for his
assistance.
Okay. Then I think you will find a place, and then look through the city, and you will ask. And Zheng Wen is a noted figure. He stands out in a crowd and so on. And you will see Zheng Wen, his brow clouded, clearly something weighing on him as he walks through the streets. And you can meet with him.
So I will approach, and I've got the standard, not quite the bindle over my shoulder, but carrying sort of some luggage. Approach Zheng Wen and bow. Zheng Wen, I do not wish to impose, but I have left my aunt's house. I think it would benefit me to spend some time here in the city. I wonder if I might impose on your hospitality.
There's no imposition. Of course, you are welcome.
Thank you.
There is not much I have to offer.
My needs are not great. Thank you.
Did you have a falling out with Auntie Silver?
Not exactly. I think I have outgrown her supervision, or at least I must outgrow her supervision.
I see. Oh, the city will be greater with you in it. I think you've made the right decision.
Thank you. That is most kind of you to say.
Jing, let me ask you a question. Would you offer him the hospitality of your faction to come in to Liquid Metal delegates to stay at their compound, or are you a little leery about that? And
this is awfully convenient, and so I think that no, not yet. The to allow him into my clan without their defenses to speak for him is a bit premature. So instead, I will test his loyalties.
And how, pray tell, will you do that?
Passing Cloud, there is a problem. I may need your assistance in handling a matter. A friend of mine is entangled with a person I have recently found to be a villain. And this person is a snake hiding in the grass where none would suspect. I believe that there could be a chance that this snake is known and is part of a larger plot, but I don't care about that clan's silly plots. I want my friend to be free of this entanglement.
I understand. I would do anything to prove myself to you, Zheng Wen. Name it.
We must find incontrovertible proof of the villainy of Whip-Hand Shang and then end her. She's an assassin.
I see. Then, yes, we must. I can see what I can find.
I'm asking you to put yourself at great risk. Passing Cloud, I do not want you to misunderstand that Sedate Rao's sect will not be pleased with this event, but my friend is unable to act. In fact, he may even be willingly allowing himself and his heart to be entangled in this way, but I will not allow it. I'm willing to put myself at risk. I need you to understand that that risk, if you step into this, will be shared by you.
Of course, if you would put yourself at risk for your friend, then I could do no less.
He reaches out and he puts a hand on your shoulder. Says, I'm glad to have a friend to help me in this endeavor. And then we're totally going to go find the Whip-Hand Shank doing nasty stuff and kick her ass.
Let me cut away from you two.
Sure. I mean, I guess there's probably stuff we need to do to get there.
Yeah, there are probably some steps before you get to that, but fair enough. So let's come back to you, Shard Saber. Do you want to continue on with that scene, or do you want to take up later?
No, I think I want to take up later. Okay. I think it'd be interesting to try once again, I'm sure, to convince Night Sky Ming that it would be best if she just left the city, wasn't here for the wedding, like just avoided all this unpleasantness.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What does it feel like when you have a ghost inside you?
I mean, it's not. It doesn't feel as evil as you'd think. It's. I think everything's a little bit echoey. Sort of like it's a bit fever dreamish, a bit like hearing everything through two sets of ears, sort of thing. I think it's probably something that you get used to, but I think it's distracting, and I think every now and then that like second echoing of hearing things coming in might say slightly different words or have a different voice to it, or be twisted in some way.
And you know two things. One is that this ghost will aid you. This ghost is here, and you can write that down as a bond on your character sheet. You know that with perfect certainty.
Does it have a
name? Yeah, you should give it a name.
Personality,
yeah.
Like, does it has a distinct presence?
I will let you define the name of it. But here is the other thing you know with absolute certainty. When you die, you will go to the 100 ghosts and someone will drink you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's not like there's an infinite supply of ghosts out there or anything.
Night Sky Ming, where will Shardsaber find you? He knows your habits a little bit, knows your disguises a little bit, but where will he find you? Muted.
Here's the thing.
Take a drink.
What he knows is that when push comes to shove, Night Sky Ming will always take to the roof. And there's a particular place where she likes to go, one of the higher buildings that lets her look back on the compound of the Purity Sword Set, because it's actually a really nice view. Since they're on the edge of the city by one of the gates, it looks off into the forest beyond the city. And it's a lovely, modest, estate in there. It's one of those that's very nice, but they don't do anything ostentatious in it. They're ostentatiously unostentatious. How's that?
And Shardsaber Lan will approach you across the rooftops. I assume we see some Lightfoot effects roof to roof as he arrives.
Eventually you're going to have to pay for these poor people's roofs to be redone.
She stops and she looks up and she goes, well, I don't stomp about the way you do.
No, you just wear one path back and forth.
Show me the path.
Why are you still here?
And she goes, because that's a trap.
Yes, that's what I've been saying.
Would you stay away from the trap for yourself?
If I had more sense than I do, which I've always attributed you as having.
You see, I fall into the same thing, only smarter. And she sort of stops and goes, there are too many people that I love caught up in that situation.
That's the problem, Ming. mean, think about it. What if she does attack? What if she does appear? What are you going to do? She's the woman that raised you. Woman that you called mother for most of your life.
Yes.
What would you do?
I would prevent her plans from coming to fruition.
And what if it's worse than that? What if nothing happens at all? What if it's just sedate Rao's wedding?
You see her stop. And she goes, I think that would be the worst thing of all.
Oh, let's have you roll in a conflict.
We'll go with, let's see here, water, I suppose. Okay. So a 7.
Do you want to mark water, or do you want to flee away from your compatriot?
Well, flee, because it's necessary to flee at this moment.
What does that look like?
I think it looks like her kind of stumbling back and then stepping off the roof. And while she does Lightfoot away, it is a sort of strange scramble among those back alleys. And she clearly is like, how do you say, not seeing anything when she's doing that, if that makes any sense. It is a pure flee.
And I think Shard Saber, like, he'll call out Ming, and like he'll run off after her. But I think Night Sky just knows these roofs too well. Even distressed, she can outpace him without much effort.
And that seems like a perfect place for us to take a break. We'll take a few minutes, and when we come back, we will see what Zhang's and Passing Cloud's clever plan is going to be. I look forward to hearing it. So in SCUP on Thursday, I had great rolls. Like I was on. Like I was on it. 10s, 9s, things like that. Jason, however, I think 3 times got like 2s and 3s.
Oh wow.
And on like big ticket rolls. And it was, Agatha did not shy away from bringing the hard move home. It was great. Good plot moving things and horrific bits. So it was very nice to see.
I'll have to check that out. I've been excited about SCUP for a while.
Yeah, I'm glad I played it now because it gives me a sense of the shape of the game that I didn't have before when I looked at it. And I think it's definitely going to go into my queue of things I want to run at some point this coming year.
Nice.
There's a lot of nice bits. With a few things I'd cut, like there's a torturer playbook and that I'm not too keen on. So, but other than that, there's some really neat stuff, and the economy in it is really interesting. David, have you played it?
Sorry, that's my screen with Hangout. No, I haven't. I've read it, and yeah, no, it seems interesting. It's one I might try with some of my my friends here, sort of thing. So I think they might they probably get more into the world of it than some of the other PbtA stuff, I think.
Yeah, it definitely has some interesting PvP stuff going on.
I could not play that.
Yeah.
I would be going the whole time.
Yeah. Jason accidentally killed one of the fellow players at the very end of the session with that failed move, so it was
accidentally killed someone.
It was delicious. All right, so I want to come back to Passing Cloud and Zheng, and we'll do that scene, and then I have to go and grab my coffee, which is brewing right now, since I mistimed everything. But we're going to do that. Yes, here's the thing about SCUP is I came in going, all right, I'm going to make just the absolute bastard character, crown running things. Oh yeah, no, everyone else is much worse than me. Like I went in thinking, here's my bar for villainy. Here's where they went. I'm like, oh, I guess by default I'm the good guy. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it attracts a certain kind of character that isn't really my bag. So
it is neat. So Passing Cloud, how do you feel about, how do you think that conversation with Zheng went? And let me ask you, this is sort of the same question that I put to Patrick at the start, is what is it that you want from Zheng? I mean, we have this entanglement that you do love him. What does that mean?
Yeah, so I think it's probably similarly kind of conflicted in that there is, it's kind of probably equal parts admiring him as being a sort of skilled warrior, and essentially, yeah, I would, I'd like to be like him when I grow up, sort of thing. That sort of admiration, whilst at the same time also very much a kind of hormonal, yeah, he's damn hot. I'd like a piece of that mixed in. So yeah. I think ultimately what he probably wants is kind of recognition by him.
And certainly he's giving you this good path to that. Like
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All I've got to do is murder someone for it. It's all good.
But is it, if you murder an assassin, that's like a good, it's, net.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
So what is your plan, Zheng?
Well, I mean, the number one plan would be to catch Whippen Cheng in the act.
2 days before her wedding?
2 days before her wedding. Not likely. So I think we just confront her, and then when she gets offended, we can kill her. I think that's usually how it goes, right? That's the easy part. Just having the guts to no. Who could we see that might have some dirt on her so that could bring an accusation? I mean, my friends have already, so maybe I go, I don't want to entangle a nice guy Ming. I don't mind if Shard say Roland, though. I mean, he's trouble as it is. So he brings destruction wherever he goes.
Do you suggest that to Passing Cloud?
Yeah, this is me thinking out loud. We need some proof so that we can bring an accusation to Whippen Cheng that she will undoubtedly deny, and perhaps vocally, and then we can start a fight. That's generally how this will work, I think.
I did not want to have to admit this, but well, you know, when we were with the Frost Queen, I have a brother by the name of Dust-Cloaked Spider. He dabbles in the more unsavory side of the Wulin. Perhaps if I were to impersonate him, I might be able to find out more about what is going on in the underworld.
I'm sorry to hear that your brother is a villain. Are you sure that you can impersonate him? You have such a strong heart.
We resemble one another a great deal. It will be difficult, I'm sure, but it's a worthwhile risk if we can stop a greater evil in the process.
I agree. This is an excellent plan. Much better than mine.
I do also want to point out that this is the first time that you have told anyone that your brother is your twin. So how do you want to do that, Passing Cloud?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think he's going to kind of get, you know, some the sort of black robes and sort of veil that Dustcloak Spider is customarily seen in. And yeah, he is, I think, not really having any particular clue of how one goes about being an assassin, is probably going to go and hang around some unsavory bars and
all right. So is your intention to kind of fall into the circles and maybe make your way, or do you want to make an impression, you know, to draw the attention of villains? What do you imagine there?
I think, yeah, probably more going for falling into the right circles and sort of knowing who to who he should sort of approach, where there might be some dirt on her.
Okay, so do you think that's a study, or do you think it's a hearts and minds to kind of do the legwork to get in?
That's a good question. So I think I've just moved one of the tabs around. Yes, so
because I can see a couple of ways to frame that. So
yeah, exactly. I think I feel like Hearts and Minds has more potential for interesting outcomes.
Yeah, it is. It is.
does.
Yeah, that path of getting in there is what we're interested in seeing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have you go ahead and roll. And this is a Hearts and Minds to sell your story, to convince and attract.
So I'm just having a quick look. That will probably be a I think probably Earth is the stat I'm going to roll on this.
Let's have you roll.
That's a 9.
That is a 9. So I do think that you kind of move through the underworld. Surprisingly, it like some people clearly know you here. You know, and well, Spider, yes, good to see you again. You know, and, you kind of make your way along, and then at some point, as you're kind of playing at the villain, this woman sidles up to you and kind of runs her hand across your back and kind of leans forward. She goes, "Spider, what are you up to?"
Oh, just having a quiet drink for now. Why don't you join me? And he'll sort of gesture at the waiter.
And she will sit down and she will say, "Have you spoken to her yet?"
Not yet. I was planning to visit once I'm done here.
You don't want to keep her waiting.
Of course not. Of course not. Did you have any further message you wish me to pass on to her?
No, I don't even think we're supposed to be talking these days.
Quite so. Quite so. Yes. But as you say, I do need to. I don't suppose you have anything that may help. You may have heard about town.
Oh, information. Well,
Indeed.
I know that Zhang and Shard Saber, Night Sky, and your brother are back in town.
Yes, I hope they do not interfere in our plans.
She narrows her eyes. Do you have something on the side? Is that what you're talking about?
I always have my fingers in many pies.
And she'll put her hand out, put her hand across, and she goes, "Yes, you do." And as she does that, you can see roiling around her wrist, you will see this centipede kind of roiling around her wrist, and then it goes back up her sleeve.
But not quite so many as you, Dancing Centipede.
Well, when we're all done, maybe you and I can spend some time again together.
Yes, that would be most enchanting.
Your choice of words clearly like. But you will gain a bond with Dancing Centipede.
Excellent.
And she says, Just remember when you speak with Pan that you don't mention you and I.
Of course. There are. I would not wish to jeopardize our professional relationship.
Professional. And she will bow and will leave. Bless you. So let me ask a question then of you, Zheng. While you've sent your young, inexperienced friend to go into the underworld, the dark underbelly of this city on his own, what were you up to?
I think I would try to hover nearby, but being pretty direct and not great at lying, I'd try to stay in the periphery of things, like a
Absolutely.
block away.
So you're trying to follow your friend at a distance so you're not spotted.
Yep. That seems wise.
Perfect. Let's have you roll overcome.
All right. So I think trying to work with caution. So I'm rolling with earth, which is settle. That's an 11. I have overcame.
Yes, you remain in the darkness, and you watch from a distance. We see the cloaked figure in the corner. A couple of adventurers approach you to get a job, but you scoot them off.
I reach up and I take the exclamation point and I throw it away.
Okay, and then you will see clearly. Passing Cloud does make a contact. This woman comes over and speaks with them in hushed conversations, touches his hand. Clearly, they have some kind of intimate discussion, and then she heads off.
Okay.
And you can meet up with Passing Cloud.
I'll move up to surprise him, maybe, or not. And
yeah, Zheng is surprisingly subtle and quiet, master of some arts that you did not expect here.
Mm-hmm. Zheng, I did not see you there. I have confirmed that, well, two things. I suppose it appears the Dancing Sisters are definitely working with Whiphand, and not only that, but it seems my brother is also entangled with her. And but this may play to our advantage if she is expecting to meet with my brother. Then I can go in his place.
All of these villains care only for money or revenge. It seems that Whiphand Shang may not be motivated by revenge, so we should tackle them with money. Perhaps the Dancing Sisters, as Dustcloak Spider, you could plant the seed that the sisters are willing to betray her. Perhaps force some kind of confrontation. What do you think?
Yes, I think that would make sense. I think I could convince her of that.
Good work. I'm sorry that your brother is entangled, but it does benefit us in this pursuit.
Indeed, and perhaps if I am able to encounter him again, I may be able to persuade him out of the path that he is following.
Perhaps. First, we must deal with the matter at hand, but your brother should also be an important part of this.
Yes, I agree.
Let me cut there. I'm going to go grab my coffee. When I come back, I'm going to start with Night Sky, seeing what she's up to, and then return back to Shard Saber. So I'll be right back. It was coffee. I had to be fast. So tasty. So delicious. So, night sky, your heart heavy, troubled, these things confronting you, the possibility that in fact sedate rouse, marriage is something that he has chosen. What a horrible thought that your friend Shardsaber put in your head.
And one, that means that I have to consider that perhaps I am simply self-absorbed in all of this, and that's the trap. That I am that prideful.
What do you want to do?
Well, I want to find Zhang Wen and ask him what he thinks. So I see her, she sees Zhang Wen off in the distance. So she drops down from the roof, and as she goes, she sees Passing Cloud talking to one of the Whip Hand's women, and she's like, she stops and watches. She should be making some arrangements.
Well, and Zhang apparently seems to be watching. That the dancing sister heads off, and then you'll see Passing Cloud and Zhang in some kind of conspiratorial conversation.
Can I trust no one? Not even myself?
The only person you could trust is Iron Face Lou.
He knows that there's something up with Passing Cloud. I have to go speak to him. I will.
So we will cut from you. Maybe you're going to go talk to your friends, but having seen this, no, you turn away. And we'll cut to again that shop that Iron Face Lou operates. You will come in, and again, Lou there. We see him. He's talking. He sounds animated in his voice as he's speaking to someone, but his face is completely still. The nerve damage, no motion or expression on his face. and he will see you and he will say, I am much relieved that you have returned. I had heard that something might have happened to you.
And she will bow deeply and she'll say, Master Lu, when there is time, I need to speak to you.
For you, I will always make time. And he dismisses this customer and, come, let us go into the training courtyard. I cannot tell you how excited and happy and pleased I am to see you.
You are most gracious.
One of my friends went to your temple to pay a call on you and found that you were not there and there was evidence of a fight.
Yes. We were attacked by those unpleasant insect assassins of Whipan Shang.
The Dancing Sisters?
Yes. Easily dispatched, but annoying none the least.
Which ones did you fight?
I fought the one with the spiders.
Ah.
I think it was the easiest one, clearly.
She is at the bottom of the scale. Others are.
How little they think of me. See, I am full of myself lately, Master Lu.
What is it that you need? You seem troubled in spirit.
Lately, I've traveled with Passing Cloud. One of those that is my brother of the Yun clan.
Yeah. Now, and the this look is purely in the
okay.
It remains still.
And she says, but then I saw him speaking with Whipan Shang. And I cannot imagine, I cannot put together how it is that he can be Passing Cloud and then do that. Because the Passing Cloud that I know is good and generous and filled with, and she sort of stops and goes, I do not understand how to reconcile these two things.
You know the public face of Passing Cloud, but I know and have seen him. Do not trust him. We have spoken of the dark side of the Yun clan before, and that is the path that he follows.
What am I to do? He's drawn Zhang into his plans, and probably Shard Sword. And she stops and she goes, and with the marriage of Whipan Shang, she goes, again, I am drawn to take action and perhaps I should not.
No, action is the right thing to do.
And she looks at him, super hopeful that he will give her permission.
You must strike down Passing Cloud, or else he will give away everything.
Where can I find him?
And he will say, will say, I know that he is staying at an inn in the city when he first arrived before he met up with Zhang. Here is where that is.
Thank you.
Let's cut from you over to Shard Saber. Wow, that may have not been the best thing to say to her.
Oh, family's hard, man. Okay, so that was a misstep. So sort of speaking on a meta storyline level, yeah. I sense that the time for playing around in like Parent Trap, identical cousins nonsense is running out. So I think some like realization over how like signing up with the Jade Brush School involved promising some people that you totally wouldn't be bad, and how signing up for the 100 Ghosts involved drinking a ghost. His name is Ageless Sin, and that's not upsetting at all. So I think I'm feeling some guilt about this whole dream of the perfect Arthurian passing cloud. So I think I'd go hunting passing cloud, but probably run into Duskcloak Spider instead.
Absolutely, especially because he's dressed in white, like he would be, as passing cloud would be. And so we will see passing cloud going through the streets.
And I think, yeah, I'm still dressed in my like totally normal person clothes, and obviously no one in the city has sensed that I'm here unless I told them. So I'll just sort of come out of an alleyway at walking speed and just like end up right next to him as he's walking by. Passing cloud, I'm glad I ran across you. I suppose I've been conflicted recently.
Shard Saber. Yes, I was just looking for you.
Good. This is good timing. Perhaps we could go somewhere a little less crowded to talk.
Yes. Let us go somewhere more private.
Of course, yes.
And he says, I know of a shrine that is not well used, that we can go and speak without being overheard.
Shrine. So you have been continuing. You believe it's still out there. You've kept searching.
Of course.
I knew you wouldn't give up even with a few failures. Knew that you would hunt your family's secrets no matter where they are.
If it is something you wanted, then I am here for you. But please, let us go.
Where does he lead me off to?
He's leading you to a shrine in town, a little temple that is not been particularly well cared for, that is a ways away from people and is quiet, and no one will hear any noises or anything like that.
That makes sense. So yeah, as we get there, I'll sort of nervously and I guess sort of pacing. It'll be like I'm so glad to see that you are still taking an interest in finding the relics of the Yun, the lost power of your family. I fear sometimes that I'm the only one still looking for any shards of the Yun clan. I feel guilty that I sometimes don't entirely believe in, haven't always believed in. I mean, it's not that it's you, it's just that I haven't known you very long, and sometimes Auntie Silver's really a big handful. Am I making any sense?
I am. There are many enemies that we face, many opponents that we do. We know that Coral Lantern has designs on the legacy of the Yun.
Yes. I wish I could make Night Sky Ming see the danger that she represents.
What is Night Sky Ming doing now?
I'm running across the rooftops. Who knows? I'm probably trying to throw herself in the middle of Rao's wedding just because she can't let that old flame go.
Well, I would caution you. I would caution you that there are other factions that are in opposition to the Yun and wish their secrets to be found. And I have discovered that the 100 ghosts have been manipulating and moving things behind the scenes. That's what Auntie Silver told me.
Well, yes, the 100 ghosts, they're a complicated clan. They move in nefarious seeming ways, but I have had positive encounters with them in the past. I mean, I wouldn't totally write them off. And if you see any 100 ghosts around, I wouldn't, maybe they're doing something good, right?
When you say that, it sounds to me like you've had some interactions with them.
Interactions? I may have called on a few old favors. Look, I know that Coral Lantern has infiltrated different factions of the city, her and the ones that brought down our clan. I know that Night Sky Ming won't be able to prepare for it correctly, so I may have called on some favors with a couple of 100 ghosts to bring the secret warriors into the city and watch things.
Well, we have to use them to the best effect. Listen, in my time here, since I came back to the city, I have discovered an entryway into the household of the Purity Sword sect.
You have?
Yes. I want you to gather our companions and meet me there tonight.
Yes. We can see if Coral Lantern has any designs, any secret ways in. Yes, we can be there to catch her in the act.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yes, I'll bring them.
But I must go. I have things to do before then.
It's inspiring to see you so active and motivated.
And he will reach out and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, yes.
And there's the little eye flutter and sort of shiver that he tries to hide when he touches him.
Yeah, you get kind of a tingle there on your shoulder where he touches you from that. Not from anything physical, clearly.
No.
Kind of secret poisoning to your chi that he's doing at that moment. But definitely.
Why would you even say that, weird ghost in my head?
Do you want to burn a bond with your ghost?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah. What's he got to say?
And this is sort of as Passing Cloud leaves, the voice in your head says, you have been poisoned. Little silly man.
What?
You have been poisoned.
By who? When?
You hear, what do you think? Your friend poisoned you. Something slow. Something that will debilitate you over time.
Oh. No, surely not Passing Cloud.
If that was Passing Cloud, then I think he is no friend of yours.
As tempting as it is to have just another cut shot to the Devil Chrome's door and knocking it and creaking open again, I think I'm gonna try.
I think we're gonna cut from you before that. I think we're gonna cut back to Passing Cloud and Zheng. You've got this information. You've found some things out. What's your next step, you two?
Do you think we can draw her out into the open for our attack with what we know?
Perhaps. I think we might be able to maybe push her into at least executing her plans early. If I convince her that something is awry.
What can I do to assist you? Do you need me to pursue you? Declaring you a villain? I don't know if that would help, but whatever I can do.
I think maybe I will just approach her alone to begin with, but perhaps if you could be near in case.
Of course.
So you are going to enter into the household of the Purity Sword Sect? You're going there?
Yep.
Okay. And you would follow at a distance then, Zhang?
I would indeed.
You are sending him into the heart of darkness here.
That is where we can bring the most light.
So, passing Cloud, you will arrive at the gates, and one of the people there will nod to you and open it without even asking your business to let you in.
I will just give them a nod of thanks and enter the building. Once I'm inside, I'll sort of flag down a passing servant or acolyte or whatever, and say, I'm here to see Whip Hand Sheng. She is expecting me.
Oh. And she will lead you through the household. You see all of the wedding preparations. You know, it's beautiful. Everything is being set up elegantly. They're certainly going full out for this. And you will be brought to the chambers. You'll see there are a couple of handmaids there, and you'll see Whip Hand Sheng is there, and she is looking over, you know, her red dress and all of the wedding veils and so on. And she will say, "Back so soon?"
Yes, I have concerns.
Did you not find anything at your brother's rooms?
I found rather more than I was hoping to find. Cheng Wen is aware of your plans to some extent. I saw him following Dancing Centipede. I am concerned that he may act to stop you before everything is in position.
I don't think we have to worry about Zheng Wen. If he comes, then we will tell him what we have done to Nine Blossoms. And we will see where his heart lies then.
Of course. And she is still secure.
What do you mean? Now is the time that we're going to have you roll Overcome.
Yep.
What are you rolling with for your act?
It will probably be. Sorry, lost the tab again. I think it's probably going to be fire in this instance. I think the creativity is he's trying to kind of come up with a plausible.
Let's see it.
That's a 7.
That is a 7. So let's look at this. So I think that she will buy this for the moment, but she's clearly that after you leave, she's clearly going to realize what has gone on. Does that seem like a fair outcome?
Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah.
Okay. She will say, "Well, return to Zhang and stay near him."
I will do as you say. Yeah, she'll bow and leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make your way back out, and you will make your way and find Zhang, out there waiting for you to see what you found out.
Zhang, I come bearing unwelcome news. They have done something to Nine Blossoms. I know not what. They may have her held somewhere, but they thought it would be leverage they could use against you. I could not press for more details without exposing myself then and there. But we might be able to discover what has happened. Oh, that's a good. I always forget this move, but
you always get a study question. Yeah.
Yep.
What's your question?
I think my question will be. It will be essentially. Do they have her held somewhere?
No.
Right.
Her reaction seemed to tell you that what they've done is not a kidnapping thing, but something else.
Right. Yep.
Does that seem fair?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want to restate?
Yeah. So I'll say they've done something, perhaps a slow-acting poison or something else that they could use to barter her life for stopping you interfering with whatever they have planned.
That is why Sedate Brown wished to dissuade me from acting. You must know. I must use it as leverage over him. Cannot allow this. What is their end game? What do they want from this marriage to Night Sky? I'm sorry, from this marriage to Sedate Rao. Do you know what they gain? A foothold in the sect, yes, but to what end?
My brother had been sent to investigate my rooms for something. I do not know what he hoped to find there. I can think of nothing that... But perhaps if he's gone there now, we might be able to catch him.
And let's cut from that moment to Night Sky Ming. You arrive at the inn.
Exactly.
And
I am quiet. I'm careful.
And you will see passing Cloud is there in his rooms repacking his things and is unaware of your appearance.
Excellent. Then what he'll first be aware of is my sword at his throat. And I will say, villain, do you really think that you'll get away with this?
Night Sky Ming, what are you talking about?
Oh, I'm talking about your conversations with Whip and Shang. Oh, yeah, those. In her minions.
So you have seen through my guise.
She goes, I have seen you.
Then let us fight. And he will do that flip back as your blade comes.
Okay.
And from out of nowhere, you will see the Jade Saber emerge.
And I think her eyes go wide. And she goes, oh, you need a legendary sword to get yourself up to level. All right.
And he brings it and stands in that stance that you've seen before from Jade Saber Lan.
All right. And I do know Jade Saber Lan like the back of my hand.
You do.
But I still need to make this study.
Okay, let's have you make that study roll.
Okay. Nice to have a decent roll tonight. Okay, and I'll be using water.
Please do.
So that's a 9.
You get one question.
Oh, I get 2.
Are you using, you're not using your informants, right?
No, I guess not. Okay, just one. Then essentially, what's his scale?
He is above your scale.
He is above my scale.
And that's the thing that shocks you is that he stands in that stance that Jade Saber knows, but like he knows it.
He has control.
All of those little things, the tells that always showed you that Jade Saber was kind of just holding it in. No, he knows how to use this sword.
All right, then. What I know how to do is slow him down, and that's the only thing that I know how to do. So I am planning on counting coup and then running, if that makes any sense.
Well, let's see what happens when roll when your foe is above your scale. On a hit, you get to declare how you lose. On a fail, I get to.
All right. I hope that I hit.
And Lowell?
Yeah.
I have the have sword will travel move. So
do you want to pop up before we make this roll, or do you want to pop up after this roll?
I think I want to pop up after this roll.
Okay.
I think what it is I've been tracking Night Sky Ming across the rooftops in a sort of like fevery poison haze, and like I see them across the street through the window. Like she doesn't know the danger that she's in with passing cloud. I see him attack, and I think I'm gonna like dive in just in time, one way or the other, to like take the blow.
Then let's have you roll there, Night Sky Ming.
All right. This is with wood. Let's see here. Oh, come on. That gives me a 7.
That gives you a 7.
Yep.
So that's a hit. You still get to describe how you do this, but you need to mark your style, element, or wounded.
Okay, I will mark my style element because I have the ability to fight even when I've marked my style.
Damn it.
So
what does that look like? Describe to me. He comes at you again, and it is that controlled destruction. When he swings that Jade Saber around, he cuts a swath through the room. Bags go flying. The bed shatters. All of that. It is all of that force of destruction that the Jade Saber bears.
Yeah, and I think that what it is that she sort of knows what's coming, and she essentially does the thing like the reed. She sort of bends out of the way, and he does that blow, and it clearly throws her chi off. I mean, she sees it happening, but she takes that moment to like take a flick at his ear with her blade. Like
Okay.
that sort of, does that make any sense?
Where we did the slow motion and then it comes back to fast motion and he goes, and grabs at his ear
Exactly.
in shock.
Mhm.
And I think like as he would come in for a retaliation strike for that is when Shard Saber just comes like flying in through the open window, Shard Saber out to meet the Jade Saber as it comes down and just yelling at Night Sky, "Get out! He's turned against us!"
And the two blades will clash there.
All right. In that moment, can I swing again with my other chi?
You
Would
can.
that
but
be?
He is still above your scale.
Oh,
Shard Saber is weakened. You can tell it will take more blades than just the two of you to be able to deal with this.
And I can't let Shard Saber die here. So I think that's it, is that she had planned to, essentially take this other swack, and she sees that lockup and she sees Shard Saber kind of taking that step back, realizes, and she goes, "You're hurt." And I think she's going to essentially run towards him, just knock the Jade Saber so it isn't blocking his blade anymore, grab him around the waist, and Lightfoot out of there.
Let's have you roll overcome.
All right. I'm hoping that this will work.
And I think as you're running in towards him, he just like, "Why do you only run at the wrong times?"
That's what she was going to say to you.
Let's see here. So that is a 5.
That is a 5.
Oh, no.
So you need to mark chi.
All right.
And Shard Saber, you need to roll against a foe who is above your scale.
Ooh. Okay. Come on, dice. How you feeling?
You are poisoned. Roll 2 dice, not 3.
No. That's an 8.
That is an 8. So you need to mark a chi. He's going to blow the both of you out of this with that Jade Saber. Tell me what this looks like here. How you're able to keep you and her from getting just killed.
I think as like green light fills this room and he brings the Jade Saber down in like this explosive blow, there's just this like weak shimmering sort of bluish, clearish, crystalline sort of shield that manages to block us from most of it, but I think the two of us still go like flying superhero punch style straight out of the building and across a block or two.
Yeah. Hit the streets, noodle vendor carts go flying. All of this, we of course at CSC, all those wedding decorations that get splattered and so on. And Zheng and Plastic Cloud, you're rushing to go to your rooms when you see Night Sky Ming and Shard Saberland come flying out and crash to the ground. And you will see Passing Cloud come leaping out, following, bearing the Jade Saber. And he is going to finish them off.
The time has come. We have to face your brother.
Yes. passing cloud is going to call out, "Brother, do not do this. Face me if you must, but..."
He looks. Let's have you roll Blade Heart.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with fire for this. That's an 8.
I think he will hesitate.
Yeah, and just
like it goes to do that. Now, do you want to burn bonds? If you burn bonds, you can tell he's probably going to move away at this moment.
Yeah, I will burn. I have a bond with the Orphans of Wulin, so that seems like the most appropriate one to burn in this circumstance.
Okay.
So that gets me up to a 10 because I get a +2 for my for burning bonds.
There is that shout. You do shout. You see he's got that blade. Your friends are laid out on the ground.
Yeah.
And
so,
you see him.
Sorry. I know you have been raised to believe your only path is death and destruction, but do not let yourself fall so easily to the darkness. There is still hope for you if you turn away from Whip Hand Sheng. She can offer you nothing but a future betrayal.
And he goes, "I will not kill them in front of you." And he will leap away. Zhang, what do you do?
I'm rushing to Nice Guy Ming and I guess Shade Saberlon, I guess, but mostly Nice Guy Ming.
Nice Guy Ming, rather than pursue this villain, Zhang comes running over to see how you are.
She's like, "What? No." She sort of stands and goes, he's... And she sort of turns to him and goes, "Why are we standing here?"
Are you going to be all right? Should I get you to a doctor?
She sort of stands and goes, "I am not at my strongest." And she will sort of reach her hand down to Shard Saber Lawn, and there's something wrong with Shard Saber.
Yes, Shard Saber Lawn, who is currently bleeding and succumbing to poison, but it's fine. Ask Ming how she's doing.
And you can see that, like, her eyes are still on where, you know, that other one of him.
Oh, he has a twin brother.
What?
And she kind of looks back and goes, "Well, I guess that's reassuring."
Reassuring? You knew about this passing cloud? You knew that monster was out there? You knew someone with your face, the face of the Yun clan, was out there and could cause this destruction? What, you said nothing? You didn't think it was important enough to bring up?
I did not wish to believe that all that there was of him was darkness. Many people end up on the wrong path in life, and I'd hoped that I would have a chance to talk him around, to bring him back.
If you cannot clearly see the difference between good people and scum like that villain, perhaps you shouldn't have been let off of your aunt's apron strings yet.
Can I please? Are you trying to do something hearts and minds, or are you just being unpleasant?
Let me look at hearts and
Is there something you want him to do or say?
Yeah. What I would ask there is that you swear to turn against your brother and kill him for the sake of the Yun clan.
Ooh.
Oh man, the guy who drunk a ghost earlier. All right, that's awesome.
So I either have
what do you want to roll with?
It's certainly not patience or growth. So I guess presence. I have so few options, but I think this would be the presence and sort of the solid strength of my faith in like the Yun clan and my vision of you as a leader, for whatever that's worth.
Okay.
It's not worth a ton. It's 5, 6.
Burn it.
I'll burn a bond with Night Sky Ming. I think there are a plethora of reasons you could choose to be mad at me for this whole day. Take your pick. To at least get to a 7.
Now the will you swear that oath, Passing Cloud?
You get 1 XP if you do.
Yeah. You get to mark XP. If you don't, both you and he have to mark chi.
Yep. It's. I think. I'll say. You had the same training as my brother. I had my suspicions of you, Shad Saber, but Night Sky Ming spoke on your behalf. I must also do so for my brother. I will not write him off so easily. And if I must strike out on my own, then I shall.
Let's have you both mark chi.
And I think I'll say, you need to convince him to break his blade, Passing Cloud. It's the only thing that will give him the chance to turn back.
He doesn't have the strength for that.
Zheng, Night Sky Ming's still injured. You're still worried about her, right?
Night Sky Ming, we need to take you somewhere where you can be healed. Let's go.
And she'll put her hand firmly around the wrist of Shard and go, you two.
I don't have a lot of strength to resist with.
So the three of them start to move off. Here's my question. There's that gap, that space on the street between Passing Cloud and the three of them. Passing Cloud, do you follow them or do you walk the other way?
I think Passing Cloud's going to walk the other way, yeah.
And that's where we're ending today.
It's so good.
Let's look at entanglements. I think that Passing Cloud, I think we hit both of yours. So that's going to be 4 points for you. Night Sky Ming, we hit both of yours for 4 points.
Woot woot.
I think we hit both of yours, Shard Saber.
Oh,
yeah. And I think we had an interesting tear in that there was something going on with Nine Blossoms, but you had to go to your friends, and there's an interesting choice that you made there. So I'm going to give you your 4 points, Zhang.
Yay.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to stop recording now on that note, that delicious walk away split there.